Most of us view eating as a joyful activity, yet this relationship with food can become anxiety-provoking at times. Many people will develop an eating disorder at some point in their lives, but eating disorders are widely misunderstood. Because of misconceptions about everything from symptoms to treatment, it can be challenging to manage an eating disorder or to support a loved one who's doing so. So let's go over what is and isn't true about eating disorders. Hello, welcome back to Know What. In today's video, we're going to go through the symptoms, causes, and treatment of different eating disorders. A basic requirement of life is food. We literally cannot survive without it. Yet because of how complicated our connection with food can be, eating disorders are not surprising at all. In general, those who have eating disorders don't desire them. Although some people might believe it won't happen for them, any one of us could acquire an eating issue. First, what exactly is an eating disorder? Eating disorders are significant conditions linked to recurring eating patterns that hurt your health, your emotions, and your capacity to carry out essential life functions. Anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder are the three most prevalent eating disorders. The majority of eating disorders entail obsessive attention to one's weight, body type, and diet, which can result in harmful eating habits. These actions can have a serious negative impact on your body's capacity to absorb the proper nutrients. Eating disorders can cause various ailments as well as damage to the mouth, bones, teeth, and digestive system. Depending on the type of eating disorder, there are various symptoms. The three most prevalent eating disorders are binge eating disorder, bulimia nervosa, and anorexia nervosa. First is anorexia. It has the greatest death rate of any mental illness, is characterized by an extremely low weight and a great fear of losing it, and is the most severe kind of eating disorder. It's a potentially fatal eating illness characterized by a strong fear of putting on weight and a skewed perception of size or shape. Anorexics make tremendous efforts to maintain their weight and shape, which frequently adversely affects their health and daily activities. When you have anorexia, you severely restrict your calorie intake or employ alternative weight loss strategies, such as excessive exercise, the use of laxatives or other diet supplements, or vomiting right after eating. When you're not overweight, dieting can have a serious negative impact on your health and even result in fatal self-starvation. Secondly, bulimia nervosa, often known as bulimia, is a severe eating condition that may be fatal. Bulimia causes binge and purge episodes where the person feels like they have no control over their food. The daytime eating restrictions that are common among bulimics frequently result in increased binge eating and purging. During these episodes, they frequently consume a lot of food quickly before trying an unhealthy method to burn off the excess calories. They may use additional strategies like force vomiting or taking laxatives to get rid of the calories because they feel guilty, ashamed, and fearful of gaining weight from overeating. If someone has bulimia, they might be obsessed with their weight and body image and may harshly and critically evaluate themselves for their perceived defects. They can be slightly overweight or at a typical weight. The third most common eating disorder is binge eating disorder. It was only officially classified as a mental illness in 2013, making it a very recent sickness. When someone suffers from a binge eating disorder, they frequently overeat and experience a loss of control over their eating. Even when they're not hungry, they may eat rapidly or consume more food than they wanted to, and they might keep eating even after they feel uncomfortable. Following a binge, they could feel bad about how much food they ate and how they acted. But unlike someone with bulimia or anorexia, they don't try to make up for this behavior with excessive exercise or purging. Eating by themselves to disguise their binging can result in embarrassment. Significantly, all these actions reveal whether a person has an eating disorder. One's weight alone cannot diagnose an eating issue in a person. When eating disorders are severe, they can cause long-term health problems like osteoporosis, anemia, heart disease, and kidney damage in persons who weigh within what medical professionals might deem a healthy weight range. In the same way that we can't diagnose an eating problem based solely on a person's weight, changing one's diet won't cure an eating disorder either. This is because eating disorders are fundamentally psychiatric diseases. Eating disorder (ED) patients are frequently challenging to treat. A sizable portion of patients continues to be treatment-resistant despite recent advancements in medicine. There are excellent therapies and interventions available, and many people who receive therapy recover completely. Treatment has a better chance of success the sooner it begins after someone develops disordered eating behaviors. But because of the complex effects of eating disorders on both the body and the mind, less than half of people with eating disorders seek and receive treatment. Treatment usually consists of a combination of nutritional counseling and monitoring psychotherapies, and in some cases, medications. Evidence-based psychotherapies are available as treatments. Because not all patients react to these treatments, these are talk therapies that help people learn how to deal with underlying psychological issues that underlie eating disorder symptoms. Researchers are also looking into treatments other than psychotherapy, such as transcranial magnetic stimulation, to see if they can lessen the risk of dying from a severe eating disorder. A strong sense of helplessness can be triggered by eating disorders. Since it can be very difficult for someone who hasn't gone through it to understand, the support of others is frequently crucial. Friends and family can try to understand their loved one's perspective by asking questions. The more they know about how to support someone, the higher the recovery rates will be. With that being said, we've reached the end of our video. If you like the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing you more content like this. Also, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.